Do you talk about the lyrics?
No, not really.
You know, I mean,
I hear him talk about it a lot now, because
Yeah.
people are asking him pretty direct questions about it. We don't. I mean,
we really don't, I guess.
no, because I mean, I don't. It's not. I feel that it's sort of a personal choice. I think that, you know, I've played with enough people to where sometimes I feel comfortable enough to ask them what this or that song's about. I mean, it's interesting because I grew up in an environment where my father was a songwriter, but also a very kind of traditional folk, literal songwriter. I mean, he was taking it more from the school of storytelling through song, the way that a lot of classic Nashville songwriting was done. So obviously, I didn't have to ask him questions. I mean, I lived with him, and I knew what was going on in his life, and he'd write a song about it and be pretty obvious, and sometimes it was really uncomfortable. So I'm used to that. I'm used to that environment. And there's obviously times with Lambchop where we're rehearsing a song, and everyone sort of knows what it's about, but I'd say 8 times
We've
out
never
of 10,
had a discussion.
no. I mean, it would be so counterproductive to do that, you know.
I don't know.
It'd be kind of like, you know.
Him telling you what you should
Well,
say?
I just don't. He wouldn't. First of all,
Probably
it just
not.
wouldn't happen.
Well, no, actually, I think there was one time where we sat around and talked about it, and one song I remember, I can't remember which one it was.
I think there was a song where someone thought it was about them and it was negative, and they felt really
Okay.
offended, and they were just like,
well, what's the deal? And I was like, no, man, it's not about that.
Kurt, what did you write? You know, and
I was like, this is about something else.
it was about something completely,
And they were
totally
like,
esoteric.
"Whoa."
You know, like something out of like a 19th century map or something. It had nothing to do at all with what the concerned issue was.
Yeah.
And is it then? Yes, one more minute. Is there? Because you were saying you sorry.
She's tough. She's.
Oh, yeah, but anyway, yeah.
Is the that's my last question. You were saying, well, you hear him talking about the lyrics. Is there one song or one lyric? Well, you didn't know. Well, because now he talks about it. That you were saying, well, I didn't know that the song was about that subject or.
Well, I mean, actually, this time around, I kind of do know what most of the songs are about,
Okay.
just from starting to be a really perceptive listener and a friend of Kurt's. But I think there was one example that actually got brought up the other day that was pretty interesting, was the Paperback Bible song, which is basically all lyrics taken from the transcripts of these messages and dialogue from this radio show that Kurt was writing the song for. And there was a line about thinking that handguns were only made for killing people. And I thought that was like maybe the one line Kurt put in there, because it seemed to really stand out and had nothing to do with selling an object. It was just kind of, it just stood out. You know, there's always lines in Lambchop songs that really kind of stand out like that, and, you know, everyone kind of chuckles. There's like, oh yeah, that's a Kurtism.
Right.
But that wasn't. It was something that was actually the mayor of the town in question had said, and it was kind of an interesting quote, so obviously Kurt featured it. I don't know, there's a lot of things like that. I mean...
And is there then, because I really have to finish now, is there one Kurtism on this album that you really like, or say to the people that's...
I think the one in I Would Have Waited Here All Day, where he says something about you just got done taking a shower and you're drying off your dick, I think that to me is a pretty prime Kurtism, because it's kind of an ugly way of saying something that's actually mundane, but it's so factual and observant that it's I think that's what I appreciate about his lyrics. It's like, it's very earnest, and not earnest, but perceptive about a situation that you might have to stop and think about it, like, oh yeah, you're right, that's, I don't know. There's a lot of them, but
Okay, but...
or that one, or the previous one that I mentioned, actually.
And for you? It's hard to talk about your own lyrics.
Yeah, it's all Kurtisms, you know, to me.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.